And now, the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
All right. Well, I mentioned Cold War, like Clinton said, so you don't have to be a rocket scientist. Get it? Rocket. Cold War.
I see what you did
Figure
there.
that out. We're not talking about tonight. We're talking about Black Ops, guys. Black Ops. Cold War. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump into this article. It's a little bit just kind of like what we know so far.
Okay.
About Black Ops. Some things have been released just recently. They have come out with a Black Ops release date. And for the release date, currently it's at November 13th for PS4 and Xbox One and PC. You can also expect to play the game on PS5, Xbox X Series, but those are obviously expected to be later in the game.
Nice.
And the date hasn't been mentioned yet on those, obviously, because the systems really haven't been the date released for them. So I'm sure if they came out and said, our game's going to be released on next gen now, then that would give away the big spill for the consoles coming out. So they didn't talk about that at all. So they released a debut trailer. Did I say that right, guys?
Yes, you did. You still almost said debut, though.
I said it really hick earlier. Debut.
I still
got a
thought there was
debut
a T
trailer,
coming.
guys. Right? It's just like when I was young, I used to say, Dad, can we go to the buffet? And he would always get kind of steamy about it, like, Hunter, it's buffet. Please stop.
I raised you better than that, boy.
You're embarrassing me. So it says the big centerpiece during the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War reveal in Warzone was the debut trailer, which offers a first look at the upcoming game, and you can watch it below. So you can watch this at Game Spot in their news section. I'm sure you can go to YouTube and look it up. It's probably everywhere you can find videos that are uploaded to the internet. What we also have here that has been revealed is that this is going to be a direct sequel to Black Ops 1. So Black Ops has been, or Black Ops, sorry, I'm not reading that correctly. Black Ops has been one of the Call of Duty series' biggest brands since its inception. And Treyarch games are known for their tremendous multiplayer and, with the exception of the campaign-free Black Ops 4, exciting storytelling. That continues this year with Black Ops Cold War, which is a direct sequel to the first. Unlike last year's Modern Warfare reboot, Black Ops Cold War goes back into the series' early narrative during history of the Cold War, when superpowers Soviet Russia and the United States were caught in the tensions of nuclear war, playing dangerous spy games with each other through covert ops. Hence Black Ops, right? Covert Ops, Black Ops. What's new in the single player? As the sub-series returns to the first Black Ops Cold War, espionage and intrigue. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Intrigue. Black Ops Cold War single player campaign has you joining up with familiar faces Mason Woods and Hudson for a globe-trotting story during the 1980s, with some sections back in the 1968 during the Vietnam War. Given this time period, expect to see noble historical figures. I cannot talk today, guys. I apologize right now. One of the most notable we've seen thus far is the 40th U.S. President, Ronald Reagan. So Ronald Reagan's going to be in the game, guys.
Nice.
The Reaganator coming to Call of Duty.
The first Trump. No, just kidding.
Deathmatch, Trump versus Reagan.
Aside from historical figures and the return of familiar characters in the single-player campaign, new faces will also appear. Most notably, the protagonist you create. Unlike previous games in the franchise, you will be playing as your own character that you build and customize. You'll choose your personality traits, gender, with a classified option, and that uses gender-neutral pronouns and appearances. Wow.
Interesting.
Very interesting. If you've played Call of Duty before, You'll once again get a dose of first-person action and over-the-top set pieces, but dialogue options and open-ended mission objectives will also be part of the experience.
Wow.
Similar to Black Ops 2, your actions subsequently impact the conclusion of the story as the game has multiple endings, which is something that Treyarch says it's back for a good reason.
Okay.
Keeping with tradition, Black Ops Cold War single-player campaign will be about the same length as recent entries in the series. And with that multiple endings, it's likely you'll have a reason to revisit the campaign further, adding into the playtime count. If you're curious about the writing process around single-player, check out what Dark Knight trilogy writer David Goyer brought to the table during the campaign script. So you can check that out again if you research that. Probably on any gaming news spot, anywhere you get your news, you can look into David Goyer and what he's talking about on playwriting, basically for the series.
This is really cool because I'm surprised it's taken them this long to want to do this, but it's literally a military RPG now.
Yeah,
right.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're changing up the way the campaign's going to be completely. Now,
Yes.
from everything I've seen, it doesn't sound like anything's co-op, right? That would be a big change, too, for the Black Ops series.
Right. I don't think it obviously doesn't say anything here about co-op, but you never know.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at multiplayer, guys. Black Ops Cold War will also be bringing with the latest iteration of franchise's classic multiplayer. While it wasn't the main focus of the reveal presentation, Activision confirms that multiplayer will offer cross-generational support and cross-progression to accommodate players from all platforms. This means Xbox One players can play with PS5 players or any mix of the game's 5 platforms. Wow. So, like many recent... what?
My question is, what maybe it'll say, but wonder what cross-progression means. Almost sounds like you can play the same character on an Xbox, then pull that character up on a PlayStation and have your same character.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
With your same loadouts and stuff.
Or
Yeah.
if you start
That'd be
out,
sweet.
or if you start out on the PlayStation 4 and bump up to the
Move to a
PlayStation 5.
PC. Yeah, or to...
PC.
Oh, yeah, it could be what you're saying, too. Yeah, that's interesting. I'd like to know
Could
more
kind of
about
include all that.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, my door just opened and closed. That freaked me out. Especially because I'm about to talk about zombies next.
Oh,
But
nice.
before we move on to that, with multiplayer still, like many recent shooters, you'll be working up and earning rewards via a battle pass system. It seems like the game will receive similar post-launch support as Modern Warfare, with a steady stream of free updates that add new maps and modes, as well as community events. It will also be extremely unnecessary big gigs of update. I'm just kidding. It doesn't say that. 260 gigs download. I'm just joking.
Enjoy your new Xbox Series X. Half of the hard drive's taken by Call of Duty. Yeah.
It says it's worth noting that Black Ops Cold War will not have its own dedicated Battle Royale mode. Instead, it shares the content and progression features with Warzone, adding inventory items that will be used across both games. Expect to learn more about multiplayer in a future Call of Duty stream broadcasting on September 9th.
Okay.
Very cool.
So this is smart, and I did see that it's going to occur in the 1980s is what we're looking at. So if they do pass stuff and they keep Warzone current, that's the perfect plan. That kind of answers all our questions of what are they going to do,
Yeah.
with stuff.
Yeah. So moving on to the last part of this, zombies. I'm a fan of zombies. Some people are not a fan at all of zombies in
Yeah, I got into it here and there. I had some friends that just loved it. Like,
and
that's their
some
favorite
of,
part
and
of
I
Call of
will
Duty.
say that some of the Call of Duties I really did not get into their zombies, and some I really did get into their zombies. One of my favorite zombies though was on one of the Black Ops. So I love the zombie mode if it's done right. But zombies was another subject that was only touched upon briefly during the reveal presentation. Aside from its confirmed return We know next to nothing about what Black Ops Cold War is adding to the classic mode this time around. Like multiplayer, zombies will presumably offer cross-generational support and cross-progression. It's possible we'll learn more during the September 9th multiplayer live stream.
Okay.
So not much to know on zombies except for it's happening, right? And so I'm pumped about that. I'm excited to see, how that goes over, how well they do on that. Those kinds of things like that.
Zombie Battle
Any
Royale.
thoughts? Zombie Battle Royale. Hey, it's not a bad idea. You just sprinkle some zombies in there. You know what I'm talking about? Like
that would be good.
During the Battle Royale, you just got, I'm taking damage. All of a sudden, I turn around, there's a zombie.
Yep.
But again, I think maybe, like we talked about before, that might have to be a all separate map. The whole map's worn down. And
it's probably
that'd be legit.
It's probably more of a how do you get everyone's systems to be able to handle that kind of load? Because you're going to have to render in all the players plus the zombies.
Yep, and the zombies have to kind of be more random. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They can't be just horrible zombies. Yeah.
And you don't just want one or two sprinkled. There's got to be a horde somewhere in that.
Oh yeah.
In that group.
Yeah.
So
you got to be hiding out in rooms when you go in. You think you're safe. There's a zombie in the corner.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
That'd be legitness.
That would be. This has been a Delirious Dads production. For more information about the show, visit our website at www.deliriousdadsgaming.com. You can also find us on facebook.com/deliriousdadsgaming, twitch.tv, and YouTube. Make sure you like and share our pages to help us grow the channel. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please leave a rating and review if you enjoy the show. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to see you next time.